Okay, so the time right now in Minnesota, United States, is 6:09 p.m. 6:09 p.m. on Saturday, 17th of February 2018, Central Standard Time, because Minnesota is in the center states. Roughly in line with almost in line with Texas, not quite. And yeah, Minnesota, St. Paul, the capital. Actually, Minnesota has twin capital cities, and there's a book called Red Rain by R.L. Stein. Now, Red Rain has a value of 69. R-E-D, Rain, R-A-I-N, added up to 69, and that's actually about twin 12-year-old boys named Daniel and Samuel. And so, 6:09 becomes 6:10. But speaking of twins, St. Paul is considered the twin city with Minneapolis, because the twin cities are Minneapolis and St. Paul in Minnesota. And what you'll notice here is that there are 17 locations listed in Minnesota, and it's interesting because Jacob Wetling, his birthday is today, Friday, 17th of February 1978. Friday. Jake was born on a Friday, 17th of February 1978. And coming back to here, the year that Jake was born, there was so we've got St. Paul, and there's a place called Spring Valley, which is also the name of the place where I live, is Spring Valley. And the year that Jake was born, there was a hurricane named Hugo. Sorry, not the year Jake was born. It was the year Jacob died. There was a hurricane named Hugo. So 6:11 in Minnesota is 11:11 a.m. here where I live, which is in New South Wales, Australia, the following day. It's Sunday, February 18, 2018. And it is 19 days until Friday, the 9th of March. So Friday the 9th of March is 19 days from Jake's birthday, if you're where I live, because it is Jake's birthday. It is 6:11 p.m. right now in Minnesota on Saturday the 17th of February 2018. It's not even birthday cake time yet. 6:12 now. And yes, it's true that Jake had a pet dog, which he named after a football player, and the name of that dog was Marcus. M-A-R-C-U-S, Marcus. Jake's pet dog. Now, 6:12 in every place. Like I was saying, Hugo is the name of the hurricane that hit. Not the year that Jake was born, but the year that he died, which was 1989. In fact, it was just a few weeks before Jake was kidnapped that Hurricane Hugo hit. It actually left a path of destruction right through the Caribbean and beyond, and then hit the east coast of America. So that was Hugo. So it's now 11:13. 11:13, if you add 11, Jake's age was 11 when he died. 13 was the age of Jake's friend Nathan. He was 13 when he died. Nathan's from Australia. If you add 13 and 11, you get 24 rather. 13 and 11 is 24, and that is the date of Nathan's birth. Nathan died age 13, and he was born on Friday as well, Friday the 24th of November 1995. And this year Nathan's birthday, like Jake's, falls on a Saturday, and it's the same Saturday the 24th of February is also a Saturday, as is November this year. So Jake's birthday is on the Saturday, So's Nathan's. Today, because I'm in Australia, it's 19 days away from Friday, 9th of March. Yet, it's Jake's birthday. So, 17 locations. Jake was born on the 17th. And if we go to Hugo, that's the place that has the same name as the hurricane, Hugo. And it's now 6:14. 6 plus 14 is 20. And 20 is actually the number of days between the 17th of February and Friday the 9th of March. And yes, it's true that Jake had a dog named Marcus. And what's the significance of Marcus? Well, we were talking about St. Paul, and we were talking about the Bible, and we were talking about Jacob. Were we? Maybe not. Well, Jacob's in the Bible, and St. Paul is in the Bible. Jacob's in the Bible. And so we might have a look at Jacob and a sword, because Jacob in the Bible is a twin. Now, Jacob was not a twin, but in the Bible, Jacob is a twin. So Jake's biblical counterpart is a twin. And Jake's actually, in some ways, the naughty twin, because he's in conflict with his brother, but Jacob has deceived his father in order to receive a blessing. So, Jake was a bit of a naughty boy in the Bible. And what about Jacob Wetterling? Well, Jacob Wetterling from Minnesota, who is now friends with Nathan Breeze from Australia, was known for being a bit of a prankster. And yeah, prankster, practical joker, both have similar personalities, Jacob and Nathan. Both are athletic, both are cute, both are outgoing. Nathan was into BMXing, and he was also into hot rods, cars, fast cars, and here he is sitting down with a couple of blow-up aliens, Martians, green men, and here he is looking his finest, and underneath his frock, I think that might be a train on the front of his shirt, which also would relate to something that I'm going to tell you today. So Nathan Breeze was 13, Jacob Wetterling was 11. If you add 11 and 13, you get Nathan's date of birth, the 24th. So, Jacob Wetterling. There's water in the background of this photo, and there's water in the background of, I think, of the first photo. Yes, there is. Wetter, German for weather. Wetterling, it actually means weather child. And breeze. Breeze, a gentle wind. But Nathan died in a violent firestorm. Probably the most violent type of windstorm you could get. Hugo was a violent hurricane that struck America just weeks before Jacob died. So, Jacob in the Bible was a twin. In his life, Jake was not a twin. 6:18 p.m. now on Saturday, 17th of February 2018. And if we have a look at this, Jacob Wetterling from St. Joseph in Minnesota, USA, was born on Friday, 17th of February 1978. His friend Nathan was born on Friday, 24th of November 1995. Athletic, boy child. Dolphin, bad athlete. This is just adding up the letters according to their place in the alphabet. Athletic equals 78, which was Jake's year of birth, 1978. Jake would have turned 40 today, but his life on Earth came to a sudden end. Came to an end suddenly when he was aged 11 years and 8 months old on Sunday, 22nd of October 1989. Boy Jacob, crazy Kelvin. Sexy, nice boy, Jake's code of a demon. Jake would have turned 40 today. So who is Kelvin? Can we find Kelvin? 6:19 now. 6:19 p.m. on Saturday, 17th of February 2018. It's 19 days until Friday, 9th of March. 11:19 becomes 11:20. 19 days until Friday, 9th of March 2018. Except actually it's 20 days if you're in Minnesota. It's 19 days from where I am because it's the 18th. 19 days from today until Friday, the 9th of March. Jacob had a dog named Marcus. True. Daniel, who is one of the twins in Red Rain by R.L. Stine, the name Daniel equals 45. As does the name Phil equals 45. Daniel James, and the guy who killed Jake was named Daniel James, equals 93. And there you have the latitude and longitude of Hugo in Minnesota, USA. So, boy Jacob, crazy Kelvin, sexy, nice boy, Jake's code of a demon. Jake would have turned 40 today. David. Who is David? Well, David is actually the middle name of Jake's friend in the world that he's in now, where he knows Nathan Breeze. Nathan Breeze. His middle name is David. Nathan David Breeze. Another big name in the Bible is David. David equals 40. Pain equals 40. Bad name equals 40. Blaine is a pain, and that is the truth. So wrote Jake Chambers in The Dark Tower by Stephen King. Jake Chambers equals 96. 96, the value of turtle. Turtle equals 96. Destiny equals 96. Eclipse equals 69. Reflective numbers. Reflect, red rain. Blood of the child. Boy Jake Chambers, the real message of evil. Red Rain is a novel by R.L. Stine, the children's horror writer. And Red Rain has a pair of 12-year-old identical twins named Daniel and Samuel. Daniel and Samuel, both biblical names. 6 plus 9 equals 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. So who turned 15 on the same day that Hurricane Irma made history as the Atlantic's strongest landfalling hurricane? Bad Samuel. Bad Sammy. Bad athlete. One of the bad twins in Red Rain. But the evil twin is Daniel. 7 plus 8 equals 15. Who turned 15 on the same day that Tropical Storm Jose became Hurricane Jose in the Atlantic last year? Who is the mirror boy of Jacob Wetling? Who is Jake's psychic reflection? Who was born on Friday, the 6th of the 9th, 2002? 2002, a reflective date. Who will turn 17 on Friday, 6th of September, 2019? Cool date, that one. Friday, 6th of September, 2019. It looks like a date from the Dark Tower. It's not. Who will turn 27 on Friday, 9th of March 2018? 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9, the year that Jake died, the year that Hurricane Hugo hit America, equals 27. Like I said, add 13 and 11 and you get 24, which is the date on which Nathan was born, the 24th of November, 24th of the 11th. This year Nathan's birthday falls on a Saturday, the same as Jake's. One plus 9 plus 8 plus 9 equals 27, code red by Jake MN, Minnesota. 2 plus 7 equals 9. What is the keystone date in The Dark Tower by Stephen King? Turn 9 on its head and you get 6. Susanna says this. Yeah, and spell God backward, you get dog. Eddie's reply, half joking. Jacob Wertling, Jake had a pet dog named Marcus. Marcus equals 75. The boy, 75. And in The Dark Tower, Jake Chambers, comes across an animal called a billy bumbler, which is like a half dog, half raccoon kind of animal, and strikes up a good friendship with the billy bumbler, who takes a liking to Jake, and Jake takes a liking to the billy bumbler. So Jake calls the billy bumbler boy, and the billy bumbler repeats back to him, oi. So parrots boy, but leaves off the B. So Jake calls him oi. Oi, Marcus. Spell God backward, you get dog. The boy. 7 plus 5 equals 12, the age of the identical twins, Daniel and Samuel, in the novel Red Rain by R.L. Stein. Oi equals 40, the age Jake might have turned today had he not been murdered by Daniel James Heinrich. Remembering that Daniel James equals 93. Myrtle also equals 93. Lots of things equal 93. God equals 26. Dog equals 26. It's currently 26 past 6 p.m. on Saturday, 17th of February 2018. Make that 6:27 p.m. Jake equals 27. Jake was 11, and where I am it's 11:27 now on Sunday, February 18, 2018, and Jake died on a Sunday. In 19 days from now, it will be Friday. Jake was born on a Friday. It will be Friday the 9th of March. In 19 days from today, Jake's birthday. I'm in New South Wales. It's Jake's birthday, because it's 6:27 p.m. on Saturday, 17th February 2018 in Minnesota. 17 hours difference between where I live and where Jake lives. I live in New South Wales, Australia. Jake lives in Minnesota, USA. 17 hours difference. You might remember there were 17 locations listed. What is the keystone number in The Dark Tower by Stephen King? Who was born on Saturday, 9th of March 2018? Saturday, the 17th of February 2018, plus 19 days equals Friday, 9th of March 2018. But only if you're in Australia, where it is Sunday, the 18th of February. So there's a little bit of a prank in that there, which should actually be 20 days. And I did say 19 days all day yesterday, because 19 is the keystone number. And it's not a lie. It is 19 days where I am. So, Nathan, bit of a prankster. Bit of a practical joker. Bit mischievous, like Jake. A little bit cheeky. A little bit naughty. Which is not a bad quality to have if you have to ride on Blaine, the pain. Eddie. Eddie's quite naughty. Quite cheeky. Quite mischievous. Who out-riddles Blaine the pain? Blaine is a pain, and that is the truth. So wrote Jake. Jake Wetterling. Wetterling, German surname, means weather child. Jake is the storm boy. His birthday in 2012, Friday, 17th of February 2012, coincided with a huge storm in Mikalego Village in New South Wales, Australia. Massive storm, 112 millimeters of rain. Where does Jake live? He lives in St. Joseph, Minnesota. St. Joseph. Not that far from here. Not that far from Minneapolis. Not that far from St. Paul. Not that far from Hugo, Minnesota. St. Joseph equals 112. That's the number of millimeters of rain that fell from the storm on Jake's birthday in 2012. That's when I started calling Jake the Storm Boy. The boy who is Jake's psychic reflection is also the boy who told me that Wetterling means weather child. True. Jacob equals 31, and the time now in Minnesota is 31 minutes past 6 p.m. on Saturday, 17th of February 2018. Don't forget, Jake had a dog named Marcus. True. And spell God backward, you get dog. That's in the Dark Tower. True. Jake would have been 40 today. So what happened on Jake's birthday? What happened on Jake's birthday this year? 2018. Who is Marcus? Who is Kelvin? Who is Kelvin? 631. Jacob, 31. Kelvin. Where might we find a Kelvin? This is the weather in Australia on Sunday the 18th of February 2018. We are 19 days away from the date, Friday 9th of March 2018. Jake was murdered on Sunday the 22nd of October 1989. Nathan Breeze died near Melbourne at Kinglake West on Saturday the 7th of February 2009. Jake's birthday is on the 17th. Today is 19 days away from Friday 9th of March. Jake equals 27. I live pretty close to Canberra, Australia. It's going to be 35 here today. It's 27 right now. It's going to be 27 again on Wednesday. It's going to be 31 next Friday, so they reckon. But things can change. Things can change. So where might we find Kelvin? This is Gita. Gita is a cyclone that went through Tonga on Valentine's night, I guess. Well, actually no, it's the day before. It was midnight on the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. This one went through Tonga. This is Gita, big cyclone, tropical cyclone. What the Americans call hurricanes. Like Hugo, the one that hit a few weeks before Jacob Wetterling was abducted and murdered. 6:33 p.m. Saturday, 17th of February 2018. Perhaps this is where we will find our Kelvin, our Kelvinator, tropical cyclone. Kelvin is a tropical cyclone making landfall on Jake's birthday in 2018. Here he is, Kelvin, making landfall on 80 Mile Beach in Western Australia. This big long beach here is called 80 Mile Beach. Kelvin became a Category 2 right on landfall as it was making landfall on Jake's birthday, because 7 a.m. was the time in Western Australia, because Western Australia is on a different time zone to us. This advisory was issued at 6:47 a.m. Western Australian time. It was advice number 27. Jake equals 27. 11:35 in New South Wales. 6:35 p.m. in Hugo, Minnesota. Keeping in mind, Jake had a pet dog named Marcus. And not only that, but we are 19 days away from Friday, the 9th of March. Which is there. Friday 9th of March, 2018. So, the bad athlete. Who is the reflection of Jacob? Who is the bad twin of Jacob? Or is Jacob the bad twin? So what else happened today? What else happened today? Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look at what else happened today, shall we? Here's something interesting. A Brazilian boxer. A Brazilian scores a stunning 17-second knockout. So this is just 13 hours ago. So this is recent. So this Brazilian hottie, boxer, scored a knockout in 17 seconds on the 17th of February, 2018, Jake's birthday. The Brazilian lived up to his nickname of Handstone after needing only 17 seconds to put American Tom English on the deck. So don't mess with him. Wow, 17-second fight. How cool is that? How cool is that? 17-second knockout on Jake's birthday, 17th of February, 2018. So there's something that happened on Jake's birthday. A 17-second knockout. What else happened? Let's see. Britain. Yes, I bookmarked this as well. Britain hit by earthquake as terrified residents report violent shaking in homes from Cornwall to Blackpool by tremor felt by 10 million. And this was 8 hours ago, as you can see. So, that's where the earthquake was. A major 4.4 magnitude earthquake shook buildings across western parts of Britain, with people reporting a strong tremor that knocked objects off walls and caused lights to flicker. So a word that's strongly connected with Jake is hope. H-O-P-E equals 44, which was the magnitude of this earthquake, is reflected in that 44, 4.4. So it struck just after 2:30 p.m. Jacob Owen Wetling equals 233. So that's interesting. So it was felt as far as 200 miles from the epicenter, causing confusion and panic. Like a massive explosion. The walls shook, the lights flashed, and pictures were shaking. It was frightening. Bottles in the shop were shaking and a tile fell off the ceiling. So it left people rather shaken by the sounds of this, despite only being a 4.4 magnitude earthquake. Quite a big story. If this happened in the Ring of Fire, it would barely raise eyelids. But because it was in Britain, it's pretty big news. And this happened on Jake's birthday. Saturday, 17th of February 2018. Jake's birthday saw the biggest earthquake in Britain in a decade. So there you go. There you go. Initially it was estimated at 4.9, then down to 4.2, then 4.4. Bad boy, 49. Boy, 42. Teen, 44. Take your pick. So, there's something else that happened. And lest we forget, our little naughty hurricane in Australia, which we don't call them hurricanes, we call them tropical cyclones, which is the scientific name, which applies everywhere. Tropical cyclone. Kelvin. The Kelvinator. So, we've got Kelvin, and if we look at the radar, you will see, if I bring up Broome, you will see something. You will see that it is currently crossing the coast. I'm not just making up stories. There you go. It has crossed the coast at Anna Plains. Anna Plains on the 80-mile beach. Cool. And this is all happening on Jake's birthday, because even though it's the 18th, it's actually 6:41 p.m. on Saturday, 17th of February 2018 in Minnesota. Doesn't matter where in Minnesota you are, that is the date and the time. 6:41. 41. The value of brat. Brat is 41. Good is 41. Clue is 41. Dream. Key. 41. Yes. Key. The keystone number. 19. We are 19 days away from Friday the 9th of March. So, yeah, that's probably enough stuff to show you. 642 is coming up, and 642 is the value of the word boy. It's also the value of 9, N-I-N-E, as in Friday 9th of March. Friday 9th of March. What's so special about Friday 9th of March? Oh, that's right. It's 19 days after Jake's birthday. Except that's a lie. And who was born on Saturday, 9th of March 2018? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, let's check out a little weather story then, shall we? Since we've seen probably enough to get ourselves kind of interested in a weather story on TV with the meteorologist dude, Tristan Myers, on Sky News Weather Channel. Yeah, here we go.
Tropical cyclone Kelvin has been upgraded to a Category 2 tropical cyclone with sustained winds near the center of 100 kilometers an hour and gusts reaching 150 kilometers an hour. Tropical cyclone Kelvin is currently crossing 80 Mile Beach as we speak as a Category 2 tropical cyclone. Its eye wall is about 25 kilometers in length, and that Anna Plains region is what's experiencing the worst of the weather right now. Now, the outer bands of the tropical cyclone have been hitting the Broome region, the West Roebuck region, the area between Binyadanga and Broome, and across 80 Mile Beach as well. Now, this morning is when we started to see that eye wall come into focus for the Broome radar. You can see it just over here, and notice how it's beginning to cross the coastline. Upgraded to a Category 2 tropical cyclone. as it's making its coastal crossing right now. And that means as it crosses the coast, it's likely to weaken fairly rapidly into a Category 1 tropical cyclone, and then later today into a Category 1. There is no change to the warning and watch area. It is just an upgrade to the intensity of this tropical cyclone. For assistance in storm damage, contact the State Emergency Services at 132-500.
If I rewind this, did you notice something about the temperatures along the bottom of the screen at the start of this story? I did. I noticed it earlier. I was going to point it out, but I forgot, so I'm going to rewind and show you. Right back at the start of this story it is. Okay, so play.
Authorised by T. Pearson, ABA Sydney.
Albany, 20. 20 is actually the number of days between the 17th of February and the 9th of March. 17 is Jake's birthday, Saturday 17th of February, which is still today if you're in Minnesota. Jake equals 27, the current temperature there in Broome. 17, today, 17th if you're in Minnesota. Bustleton, 17. I didn't look beyond that. 22. Jake died on the 22nd. Sunday, 22nd of October, 1989. Derby, 26. God equals 26. Spell God backwards, you get dog, equals 26. Esperance, 17. Jake is 40 today, if he's still alive on Earth, which he's not. Today, Saturday, 17th of February, 2018. 16 and 19, reflective numbers. I said Myrtle before. Sean Myrtle is a character I made up, and he's 16. 19, the keystone number in The Dark Tower by Stephen King. Hobart, 16, 19.
Tropical cyclone Kelvin has been upgraded.
Wow, Exmouth also 22, and that's again dates Jake's, the date of Jake's murder, the 22nd of October. And finally we get a break from coincidence with 25.
A Category 2 tropical cyclone with sustained winds near the center of 100 kilometers an hour and gusts reaching.
But here we have again 19 and 27. 27, the value of Jake. 19, the number of days until Friday, 9th of March. So that's pretty cool. And I should forward wind a bit. See what else is on here. See what else, what other weather stories are on here after this one. Because I'm about an hour behind now, behind real time. So where does it go after this? Just a wrap up.
31 degrees is your
It's a wrap up of the weather today.
Western
There's a nice
Sydney, and
photo.
also for inland.
Nice photo, nice photo. What else? What else is there? Nice photo, nice photo. Nice photo, very nice photo. So Broome's getting a bit wet. So we'll get a fast speed catch up on the weather now. What's happening on Jake's birthday? Yeah, there's some fires burning. They've been burning since the 13th actually. The fires that started on the 13th really exploded on Valentine's Day. They really took off on Valentine's Day the 14th. There we have a repeat of that story. And yeah, oh yeah, this is the other story. I will play this one.
Some beach.
This is the action that's happening on the other side of Australia as a result of Tropical Cyclone Gita, the one that hit Tonga on the 13th. Keeping in mind that Nathan's 13 when he died, Nathan Breeze, and his birthday is the 24th. Well, the 13th of February was Tuesday, the 13th of February. And something happened to me when I was 13 too. I didn't die in a bushfire, but I did have a pretty big thing happen to me when I was 13. And I was born on a Tuesday. Nathan died age 13. you always get reflections of 13 in Darwin, because it's always 31 degrees in Darwin, see? And Nathan was strongly connected to Darwin. He was born on the 24th of November. And like I just said, the 13th of February 2018 was 24 days before Friday, 9th of March. Jake had a dog named Marcus.
Huge waves have been hitting Queensland and New South Wales coastlines. This was taken from a helicopter flying over the Gold Coast. Look at those waves. They're absolutely enormous. And as a result, many beaches were closed yesterday and are likely to remain closed today across southeast Queensland and New South Wales. These waves are generated by an unusual source, Tropical Cyclone Gita. As it's moved past New Caledonia now, it's actually slipping into the Tasman Sea and making its extratropical transition. It's going to be pumping these easterly waves right across the coastline, and as it does that, well, it's closing beaches, and even though the size isn't too big, what is big is the period, or the time in between each individual wave. Now, the longer that is, the more powerful the wave energy is. And really, this is the most powerful wave energy we've seen in years, because the wave period right now is between 13 to 15 seconds. That is very large and deceptively powerful. So in the swell forecast on screen, you can see that we have easterly winds and those waves pumping into the coastline. We actually have another southerly swell that's going to be moving up the New South Wales coast. That's going to be coming through on Monday and into Tuesday, so we have a combination of swells. The other consequence of having an easterly swell, so that's waves coming from the east, is that every single beach will be affected by this, because what we usually see is waves coming up from the south, because that's where cold fronts come from. Or for Queensland and northern New South Wales, then you see southeast trade swell at certain times of year. And that means some beaches will miss out on the waves, other beaches won't. But in this situation, every single beach should be getting some pretty large waves. All right, let's switch focus and talk about what's happening in the west. We have the landfall of Tropical Cyclone Kelvin on Sunday, and even after it makes landfall, it's still going to be packing quite a potent punch, and that's because it's going to be a tropical low still for quite some time, and it's going to be bringing heavy and flooding rainfall for the region. This is an area that's seen a lot of rain already this season and continuing to do so. I mean, it's a great wet season, but unfortunately, if your job is to drive around in these areas, then it's making it pretty difficult for you to actually do your job, and it's cutting off communities completely as well. Into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to see that tropical low shift into the West Australian interior. Most of that heavy rain will ease for the Kimberley region, and that's where the flooding will start commencing. You can see through there. Later, it'll start extending further south and even into the Euclid district, expecting some particularly heavy rainfall by Thursday. So that's when you're in track to get that rainfall. Here's the 4-day totals. Widespread 100 millimeters stretching from the Euclid right up into the Pilbara and West Kimberley, but we still are expecting totals upwards of 300 millimeters across some of these areas.